Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to day two from the Starcraft 2 AI tournament. I am here, as always, with Luffin Games and Ketrock. How you doing, guys?
Hello, hello. I'm good.
Yeah, doing well. Looking forward to see what happens this week.
Yep. All 16 bots again in action tonight. We saw all 16 last week. We had some technical issues last week, so we are here with a completely new setup. So if it's a little bit ghetto, I apologize, but we're getting there. um, and also, I've been stuck in the traffic jam for an hour and a half, giving me very, very little time to prepare. So it's been fun. We got there in the end. So yeah, and welcome. But yeah, no, we had some really fun games last week. Obviously, seeing all 16 bots again, half of them in the top half of the draw now, and half of them in the bottom half. Yeah, any favourites from last week, guys?
But from last week, that was so long ago, it's hard to recall. Um, I'm just looking at the history. Benbot Cannonana, I think, was quite good.
Yeah,
Um,
no,
and then we had the TVT between Tyr and Dominion Dog too,
oh, that
but
was a
that
fun one.
was yeah, yeah. We had some Thors, didn't we? Or I can't
Yeah.
recall.
Oh, it was really cold last week, so it's good to thaw out a bit. Sorry, terrible. Yeah, we've had the two top bots got through, negative zero and Eris. Let's have a look at our matchups for today. First up, we have Xena versus Dominion Dog. So we'll run through the lower bracket first. And Xena was the only bot from the top side of the bracket to go into the lower side of the bracket. So looking to come back from that. And after that, Aelus versus Wickedbot. Two new bots. Wickedbot really did impress last week up against Eris, but sadly came out losing. But hopefully, easier matchup tonight.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see him against a less strong bot than Eris, I guess, because I'm on the fence of whether his medevac micro is good or bad. It's hard to tell versus Eris because everything you do versus Eris is bad.
Yep.
Seems like that way at least.
Yeah, this format is honestly just really awesome with how like we get to see all the bots with another chance today that are in the lowers match, and then we'll probably get some really good matches in the uppers match. So yeah, it's gonna be good again.
Yep. And also Cadenano GPT. GPT really impressed in the last tournament, but I wasn't that impressed with him last week, so maybe a chance to get back. And then Avocados versus Small Bly, which is going to be fun. So um, then we're going to move on to the low upper bracket later with Sharpened Edge, Sharkbot, and then Eris versus Annie, Zozo up against Tia, and Benbot BC up against Negative Zero. So it's going to have some fun there.
Those are all some awesome matches. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sharpened Edge. I think he's from Boston there.
Sharpenage,
Sharpened Edge.
Sharpenage.
Sharpened.
Sorry,
I've
Ketchup.
I've actually really been enjoying some of Sharpened Edge's games lately.
You almost said it again
Like
there, didn't
it's
you?
like it's had some really
Yeah,
good like it's just like a very well-rounded bot that still like despite not being too actively updated performs quite well against like the top bots still.
yeah.
So
As
And
far as I'm aware, it hasn't had any like functional changes in years. But for some reason, it goes to like waves where it like gets higher and higher on the ladder, even though it's not being updated. So which is really interesting.
yeah.
I
All
mean, it
right.
does have an adaptive strategy, I guess, and multiple strategies it can choose. So as people update their bots, they might end up getting worse versus Sharpened Edge.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's have a look at the first match of the day. And apologies, guys. And it is going to be Xena versus Dominion Dog in 1 second, guys. Apologies. All right, let's go.
Okay, so spawning up in the top left, we have the red random bot spawning as Protoss. It is Xena. And down in the bottom right of Maganatha, it is the blue Terran Dominion dog, my Java brother.
Aganatha is not even one of the hardest maps to pronounce in this pool. There's some that like I just don't say at all because
Wasn't there like a Jagannatha too that everyone pronounced wrong?
yeah, it was like Juggernautha or I can't recall anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Xena and Dominion Dog, we've rolled a PVT. This is going to be quite interesting. Dominion Dog has had some really smart cheese responses in the past. So, yeah, I'm curious to see whether it'll maybe sniff out that Xena is just straight up announcing it's going for a 4 gate here. Loud and proud with 3 gates building at the start of the game.
Yeah, we've seen Dominion Dog have a very harsh reaction to cheese, we'll say, where sometimes it overreacts and puts himself too far behind. So let's see how he deciphers this one, where it's not like a really fast proxy or anything, but it still is a one base all in.
Yeah, we do have an SCV moving out for the Terran bot, sees it's up against a Protoss. Up until this point in the game, it didn't know, with Xena being random. With Ketrock bot, did you ever like do anything specific against random bots, or how did you handle that?
I handle it the same way I do as a human player. I just assume it's going to cheese because who learns all 9 matchups, right? The odds are at least some of them are going to cheese. So yeah, I just do a standard build versus random where I just get a lot of early game units and play it a little bit safe.
Okay, so we do have Xena going for that proxy gateway. And so it's going to be 1 gate proxied from the looks of it, with the rest of the production back at home. That's the power of Protoss being able to warp in their units. Dominion Dog, though, it has printed a chat tag that it's seen that there is a early gateway rush. It's getting up some barracks. We have yet to see a bunker or anything like that start, but it is completing the supply depot wall.
Yeah, and I mean he does have the ramp. He didn't take an expansion of his own, so he should be able to get a fair amount of units here. Um, but spending all of his money on production at the moment and no units in the production tab. So hopefully once these add-ons are done, the army count picks up quickly because this 4 gate is coming.
Yeah, at least Xena does have to walk the first few stalkers across the map, so that's buying it a little bit of time. But I actually love this cheese response from Dominion Dog.
Oh, it's Mass
It's
Marauder.
one of the things that really sticks out from the bot. It's like, oh, being cheesed. I'm going to build 1 million Marauders. So it's got 3 Marauders building at a time right now.
What if we did like a Zealot Sentry 4 gate? This Mass Marauder wouldn't work out too well, would it? Or even Adepts. But yeah, interesting positioning though for the Marauders. Not hanging out at the ramp is a little iffy. Hopefully he runs over as soon as he spots those with the depot.
Yeah, Stalkers coming in. The Marauders are respawning. SCVs are pulled to repair the depots. Looks like one goes down, so the Stalkers actually do get in for Xena. Another Marauder pops on out. The boys are pulled and are actually attacking some of the Stalkers to do bypass the defense. This is just incredibly aggressive by Xena, like just busting down the wall, getting in. And Dominion Dog didn't quite have up a critical Marauder count to defend this, so now it's scrambling to get any units it can out. But wow, it looks like that Xena may have just rolled over Dominion Dog.
Yeah, it looked close for a while there, but with all those SCVs off the line, those barracks couldn't all stay active, so he wasn't getting those 3 Marauders at a time, and the Stalkers were warping in 4 at a time, so things went definitely Xena's way after that initial fight.
Okay, starting off with the with the bang.
I mean, Marauders are a good counter to Mass Stalker, but yeah, just couldn't get quite enough. Maybe cutting out the factory or something would have helped a bit.
Yeah, I love the cheese there from Xena. That's always a good way to win.
Yeah, like I was really hyped for to see that build or that cheese response from Dominion Dog, because like I think I've literally seen it do that against Xena and have like a very solid defense. So the timings just didn't quite work out there, I guess, because like yeah, if it had like one or two more Marauders out, like yeah, it just starts to shred the stalkers. So
Yeah,
um,
I'm
Yeah,
always
he was doing offensive warpins at a point in time where Dominion Dog had one Marine, so the
yeah,
production kicked in just a little too late. I think if he got out like six Marauders, say two waves of Marauders, then going up the ramp into six Marauders would have been pretty painful. Also, the
yeah,
positioning the Marauders, they weren't waiting at the ramps; they didn't get those free shots in.
yeah,
that's a really good point. Yeah, the building production. Like who knows? Maybe if the map was flipped, the Marauders would be on the other side of the barracks or something. So
but yeah,
uh,
like
that
even having them there when the supply depots were there, to just shoot on the ramp, it's very difficult then to get up. I'm always terrified of Marauders as a Protoss stalker.
yeah. Um, yeah, so well done by Xena. Now the that bot will have a 1-1 score, whereas Dominion Dog's down 0-2. It's not out of the tournament just yet, though, guys. For all the Dominion Dog fans out there, it's got one more chance for redemption.
Yeah, you never want to be in that 0-2 bracket. It is a long way back, but there is a way.
Mhm.
And next up, I think we have Aeolus versus Wickedbot. This should be a fun one.
I think your pull is a little off there.
Yeah, whoops.
Sorry.
My
Oh,
I have no brain today.
apologies.
It's like I want to vote for Wickedbot, but
That's all right.
yeah, this one's exciting. Um, I'm enjoying Wickedbot just because I'm seeing stuff out of Wickedbot I've never seen out of other bots before, which is always fun.
Yeah, it's
Gives me flashbacks to oh shoot, Chaos Bot, which was never
yeah,
like super competitive, but if he had a crazy idea, he would try it out, and it was
Oh,
always a lot of fun to watch him.
that's exciting to see. ALS has been getting some updates too. Last updated the 1st of January 2026. I
yeah,
think there was a little window where it hadn't received an update for a while, but that's exciting to see. So we've got two actively developed bots going up against each other.
yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's see how they get on.
So spawning up in the top right, ready to throw down his first pylon. It is the red Protoss Aeolus. And on vertical spawns, we have down the bottom right the blue Terran Wickedbot. I think in general in the bot meta, gateway units have been stronger, we'll say, because a lot of Terrans play more of a mech sort of style. So it'll be interesting to see like a nice, stim bio player like Wickedbot and what he can do to punish these gateway heavy compositions, and whether the Protoss will actually get the splash damage it needs to deal with mass bio.
Yeah, that's true. Like we definitely have had a lot more mech bots than bio bots for sure. Like there's been like the odd bot that's built bio, like Benbot mixes in like a little bit of bio, but Wickedbot is trying to be like the bio bot. Uh, no tanks is probably the main standout, which are incredibly strong in bot games, but like when people think of bots, they think of like, oh, like unlimited APM drops, that kind of thing, which can go well with bio. So
Yeah,
Wickedbot's trying to prove that.
I always feel stim is a difficult decision for bots. I think it'd be
Yeah.
very easy to write a bot that would like stim itself to death or never hit stim at all. You gotta have some coordination. You don't want to see like
Y-
one Zergling and stim like 55 Marines to kill that one Zergling. You gotta make sure you got
Yeah,
the
that
right
that's
logic for all
definitely
this.
true. Um, I don't think I've seen a bot with like perfect stim, but Wickedbot I think is pretty darn good with it. Like if there's like it won't stim the units till they're actually in range, so it stims them all individually. Um, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it'll stim after like a single Zergling or something like that. I know I've definitely talked about that in the past. I can't remember whether it was like Wickedbot that prompted that, but yeah, we'll see. As it is going for just a safe expo opening, getting up a bunker on the low ground. Meanwhile, ALS is playing it more aggressive, more safe, whatever you want to say. It does seem to have a Nexus on the way, but after producing quite a few Stalkers.
I liked the bunker usage out of WickedBot too. He throws them down at every base, but he won't actually populate the bunker unless that base is under attack. So keeps his bio available to respond to anything while still making the bunker useful. And this is one of those examples, so Marines pop in right away and then he gets a repair going.
Now, nice pullback on the injured SCVs, repairing them up. The mules coming off the line to repair the SCVs is quite a big economic loss, I guess, but it's better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Yeah, but sometimes that's the smart thing to do, I guess, right? Nice micro out of Aeolus as well, where he's not losing much of any hull damage. Running in there trying to snipe SCVs and not getting the kills, but at the same time causing a lot of havoc in the mining. Whereas there's like overreaction of SCVs repairing, we'll say.
I like this from Aeolus. Behind this light pressure, it is going for a double Nexus. So it delays the first expand, but then it's trying to make up for it with a incredibly quick second expansion. So the Protoss bot is putting some pressure on WickedBot, denying mining timing, and then it is going to be able to probably just saturate 3 bases fairly quickly if it focuses on probe production.
Yeah. Not actually letting his shields regen though, which is kind of odd. Like he had the right pullback mechanic, but as soon as he gets one shield, he goes back in basically. And the way shields regen works is you have to wait before it even starts. So once it starts, you kind of want to let it regen fully and then go back in.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal. It's like a relative, like even if it loses these Stalkers, like it's not like it's losing like a ton of units, but they are the only units it has. It is still denying a ton of mining time, though. There has been SCVs getting pulled off the line fairly consistently, although WickedBot is now getting up to a pretty healthy Marine count. It's got a factory on the way. Not sure we have a tech lab yet to start like Stim or Combat Shield or even get out a Marauder to maybe shut this down a little bit harder. Terran bot's just holding safe with this bunker. A few Marines are like, maybe we can kill that Stalker now, but...
We actually just had our first death of the match just a few seconds ago. With all this fighting, there actually first only one unit's gone down, but now a couple Marines have fallen as well as a couple Stalkers.
Yeah, the Marine damage is getting pretty high now for the Protoss to soak. Stimpack does start for WickedBot. We've got a starport on the way as well, so we'll be able to get up those medivacs for drops and healing these Marines. Behind this, ALS is going for, while it's saturating up, it's 3 bases, so it will have an economic lead once it gets that completed. And we've got a Twilight and extra gateway going up.
There's a Marauder in the field there. If you can somehow get that inside the bunker, that will really help stifle this attack. With the extra damage and the extra range.
Yeah, the extra range is huge because in the bunker it has the same range as a Stalker, right? Or
one more than a Stalker. Marines are the same as a Stalker inside a bunker. Marauder would be +1 beyond.
Okay, ALS not losing too many Stalkers. So many are surviving in the red, as it just it's a bot that just likes to sort of build up pressure slowly. Just start with a trickle of Stalkers, eventually become a flood. WickedBot's defense has been nice. It's got up the medivacs, it's got out Marauders, so it is feeling confident enough to move out. There's some medivac Marine micro already. And look at this, WickedBot's building 3 command centers inside its main base while being contained.
Yeah, he probably wants to expand, but because there's no safe path to get to an expansion base, he's just got to build them all in base.
Yeah, I've cast some pretty funny WickedBot games. It's better now, but I've cast games where it was like end game and it started building command centers and would not stop, so it had like 20 CCs just floating. We're starting to see how good Marauders are against Stalkers, as just a few medivacs, a few Marauders can really punish Stalkers. As They're just going to work. Marauder does die, but yeah, Aeolus just isn't really pooling these units, and a few Stalkers at a time is not going to beat Bioball.
Yeah, this is where you definitely don't want to be using only gateway units when you're facing Stim with Medivacs. That is the time you want to be fighting with your batteries or have some sort of splash damage like Colossus, for instance. But Aeolus is like, the constant pressure is working great for him up until a certain point. Now it looks like it's not working as well, as we have some technical difficulties. Or is it just my end? Maybe it was just me. Okay. Looks like it's repaired. Okay. Yeah, some more nice engagements. There's some sight blockers here, which are really hurting Aeolus because the Medivacs give vision over the sight blockers, whereas the Stalkers are fighting kind of blind.
Okay, the Protoss has pooled up to a decent number of Stalkers. Wickedbot has maybe been a bit too aggressive as it's bled off some units. It does have this bunker that you pointed out previously at this base to defend it until that planetary gets online, and yeah, the Stalkers will have a hard time breaking this with good SCV pull behavior.
Yeah, and it's a good thing he had that bunker to fall back to, actually, because he was losing the fight in the middle slowly as the bio was not being reinforced, but the Stalkers were constantly getting reinforced. I think that gold base is probably helping Aeolus quite a bit and keeping that Stalker count crazy high.
Yeah, this is one of the difficult things as a bot author. Like, we've got two bots here that are both pushing out that it's like arguably they'd both be better off sitting at home for a minute. Instead, they're just constantly throwing everything they can at their opponent. And Aeolus is just skirmishing with Stalkers. It does have shields on the way. I'm not sure. We haven't seen any Blink, so I'm guessing Blink hasn't been researched, even though we got a Twilight Council at some point. Meanwhile, Wickedbot does have 1-1 on the way. Bio scales better than Stalkers, so that is promising for the Terran. Yeah, this game goes on.
And when things aren't going well for Aeolus, he just pushes in range of the planetary, which obviously will just turn things around once again. So,
yeah, it's just sort of self-regulating in that sense. Now, yeah, Stalker's still skirmishing. Wickedbot throwing away Bio when it gets out of range of the planetary. And so we've just got these two production streams crashing into each other. The Protoss has built up a nice amount of Stalkers again, but like they seem to go idle for a minute at the back too when they're waiting for their shields to regen. So there's some that are kind of just sitting and chilling. Wickedbot's trying to build a turret on the front. That's not going to work out.
Instantly killed.
just a constant scrap.
Yeah, one thing to mention though is as much as the Marines and Marauders have been dying, the Medivacs haven't. So it's getting to the point here where every Marauder is getting its own personal healer almost.
Yeah, I believe Wickedbot just has like a programmed hard cap of 10, I want to say, for the Medivacs, so we're probably pretty close to that amount, if not already at it. As Marauders and Stalkers still just skirmishing away, the Bio does have 1-1 now. The Protoss does have 2-1, the one being shields, which I guess in theory pairs well with just trying to maximize usage of the shields. The Protoss is taking plenty of bases behind this. It's got 98 workers. So it's producing lots of Stalkers. Seems like the main bottleneck is actually gas right now, as it's mining quite a bit of that. Wickedbot, meanwhile, getting up a Ghost Academy, taking plenty of bases of its own. We've got like a weird construction in the bottom left. I'm guessing that's like a bunker and a turret and a base floating over there. 2 bunkers at this base. And a turret. But, yeah, the skirmish just continues on.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing is the Medivacs are a little fearful of getting in range of the Stalkers. What I did with my bot is I make my Medivacs be fearless until they actually take a hit. That way they'll stay in range to actually repair. Because if they're not healing, they're kind of not helping, really. But, yeah, much better position here now for Wickedbots. And of course, he's only in this position because he's just losing the fights pretty badly. But it is nice to have this planetary to fall back to with the SCV repair. It's very one-sided. Yeah, honestly, I think like Wickedbot's army might be doing better than Aeolus's, but Aeolus is just able to produce more. He's just had more economy for basically the entirety of the game and spending every penny on more stalkers, so the stalker count is permanently reinforced.
It's got a gold base too, so...
Yeah. Although it's probably mined out a few of the patches there at this point, because he had that like as his 3rd or 4th base, so it's got to be getting pretty old at this point. Losing a bunch of SCVs trying to build that forward missile turret, that's not helping him at all. Worker count has dropped down to 75, which is still good, I guess. Big wave of bio will be able to push back more.
That bio ball's looking pretty significant now.
Yeah, it looks like that gold base might be down to just 2 patches, so that huge boost of gold minerals is dissipating. He does have a new gold coming up. Okay, 4 patches. Does have a new base coming up, though, on Wickedbot's side.
Yeah, more stalkers being built. AL is heavily bottlenecked by gas still. And yeah, Wickedbot, it's getting out ghosts. It's heading to 2-2. Like, I'm thinking at this point the Twilight Council was just to get, like, the level 2 upgrades. Because no blink here. And yet there's probably been hundreds of stalkers. This game is definitely a lost opportunity.
Yep. I'm sure it's on his to-do list. If you're a mass stalker player with a Twilight, probably going to put some blink micro into your bot at some point. Depending on the framework, there may even be some default behavior for that built in that you could use. Medevacs are all dried out from all this constant fighting. We do have ghosts on the field now as well, which is an interesting addition. Let's see if some nice EMPs get thrown down, or nothing to snipe, I guess, so just EMPs.
Yeah, Ayla still, it seems to, I'm guessing, calculates its needed amount of workers based on the bases it has. So it's got 105 probes at this point. All right, we are going to have a fight in the middle of the map as the stalkers and the bio are meeting each other. Stalkers are skirmishing with the bio constantly, getting in range of the planetary. We do have an EMP, get a connection. Wickedbot's bio could probably just like stim into this, but that's not exactly easy to realize, although the bio does get aggressive, cleans up pretty much all the stalkers. Yeah. Wickedbot was retreating for a moment there, and then it's like, wait, I can win this. So, yeah,
Aeolus has tried to actually expand to the opposite side of the map, but he hasn't taken the base that's right in front of his natural. And it doesn't seem like either bot has the calculations to figure out that those island bases are now available as well on the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, they're both kind of just ignoring that for now. Wickedbot moving out to attack uses an EMP on the stalkers. I'd be really interested to see how this would go if ALS actually had blink. Like, it's definitely missing a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, he already has some logic to like preserve stalkers with low shields, so if you combine that with blink, it would actually make it much more effective, I think.
Yeah, like the stalkers, I mean, they're not doing amazing, but they're doing pretty good based on the situation. So like blink, it would be interesting to see like just how much more efficiency it could get, as we do see once ALS pushes Wickedbot back to its planetary, things go south, as Wickedbot's on 3-3. It's going in for an attack.
Not even getting pushed to the planetary, just like any attack now is going really bad. Wickedbot's got everything you'd ever want
nice
against
EMP.
Mass Stalker. Yeah, beautiful EMPs. I do notice he won't EMP one stalker, so there is some logic there to make sure the EMP is actually getting good value. And this might
Stalkers
be
just trying to hold into the main.
Yeah, they're all walled in there actually without blink. Oh, there is a path out if they want to.
Yeah. The funny thing is, this could actually be a good position for Aeolus.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with
As
all the bile loaded inside medevacs instead of fighting.
yeah, like a Wicked Bot has actually found the base in the bottom left though, and we've got probes fighting SCVs, a bunker going up, command center flying north because Wicked Bot's like, surely this gold base must be free, and yeah, what a wacky situation. We'll see as the defender's advantage is real for the Protoss. The Stalkers, though, are just hard stuck in the main. It seems. I'm curious if they'll be able to get out of there. Like, new ones being warped in seem to find their way around, but these guys,
Yeah.
not so much.
I'm also curious who's going to run out of money first. Aeolus's mined way more, lost way more, but Wiggerbot's basically
Yeah.
only had 5 base economy, and 3 of the bases, 4 are almost dried out. He's got like 2 bases worth of income right now, maybe 16 minutes.
Oh, the bunker's actually got Marines in it.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that will one day be his base, or at least shut down Aeolus from taking it. And we got a couple
Yeah.
other bases fighting. As we got another
Aeolus's
bunker
income
set up.
has fallen significantly, so it just doesn't have the units to really address this.
Yeah, he even has the Neo Steel, so the extra capacity and the +2 armor on the bunkers is going to be pretty strong. We got
Yeah,
some-
I wonder if yeah, I don't think Wicked Bot's using. Oh no, it does use the extra capacity. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we got probes not mining at the 10 o'clock base too, which is the key base for Aeolus at this point, as his other 2 bases are getting knocked away.
Yeah, I think all those stalkers are still stuck in the main base. I'm guessing that it is weird how some of those probes aren't mining.
Yeah, because it's not like he's oversaturated there.
No.
Oh, who's going to land first? Neither. He's going to build a new one there. Could you imagine? Oh, I think he's actually the command center is really far. Okay, never mind.
Okay, Wicked Bot finds a base. I think this one's pretty much over at this point, but whether one of the bots actually ends the game or not now is the question.
Yeah, unfortunately, those stalkers all getting stuck in the main means he wasn't able to challenge Wikibot taking all these new bases.
Yeah, like it. So like, I don't think they're actually stuck. It's just like a pathing or a programming bug. Eh?
Yeah, it's a pathing issue. There is if you click outside the base, they will run outside the base, but they're probably
They're just
trying
to group on top of each other or something.
Maybe the ones in the back are blocking the ones in the front that are trying to exit a different way. Who knows? Wikibot ending what little economy is left for Aeolus at this point.
Slow cleanup.
Yeah, looks like he won't clean up a base unless he's trying to expand there.
Yeah, a very, very slow cleanup by Wicked Bot. That's pretty much got this one in the bag. This game goes about how you'd expect Aeolus as a bot, that if it doesn't win in the early game, it just kind of falls off in the late game with mass stalker composition.
Yeah.
It's probably why Zozo, for example, likes to add Tempest after its mass stalkers to have a bit of a transition, even if it's just massing a different unit. Yeah.
I'd like to see Wikibot have sort of a retreat mechanic based on how many units he has loaded up in his medevacs. So if he has like 30 units as medevacs and only 2 Marines fighting, it's like that's probably the time to go back home if you're going to load everything up.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind the idea of like hot picking up all these units as they get low, but then you can't just keep fighting with a tiny army.
Yeah, like it'll retreat like 2 feet and then unload
2 units, and then
yeah,
2 different
exactly.
units.
And then
yeah, like all 30 units, but only 2 are fighting at a time, which is a little painful to
there's the
watch.
command centers.
They're all trying to take the main base.
Oh
Nice.
god, I really love I really love Wicked Bot. He's so fun. Yeah, all those command centers just popping in at the end. It's like, yep, we're here to finish the job now, guys.
I honestly don't mind that at all because
Yeah,
it makes sense in the middle of the game to have that as like your expanding strategy. And if you ever get to the point where you can afford many command centers and are expanding on the other side of the map, you've already won anyways. So who cares if it's a bug? You know?
yeah,
It's a mistake that only happens when you've already guaranteed the win. So you can put that low on the priority list of things to fix.
yeah. And for Aeolus as well, really good early game there, and very very close to finishing off Wicked Bot in the early game, but yeah, didn't quite
Yeah,
manage.
he had great pressure put on and had the economic lead the whole time.
Yeah,
Um, he was just stunted by the pure stalker composition. You know, in many
yeah,
ways, he was actually the better bot that game. If he just added a little bit more
yeah,
dynamics to his army, I guess. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it
Blink you said was a really great option, but also maybe building a unit that's not a stalker could be useful as well. Yeah.
that's outlandish. You can't do that.
Or even just
Um,
blink, just get some blink, like
yeah.
you were saying, like
Well, it's kind of funny because the author's like, "Oh, I need to get a Twilight Council, so then I can research +2 shields, so I have more efficiency in the late game." But I'm not gonna get blink. Um,
yeah. I guess
yeah,
it
I'm
takes
not
some
sure
extra
if
work
it
for it.
even has got blink in the past, or if so. Like, who knows? Maybe it does sometimes, and it's just bugged. But
Yeah,
uh,
cool.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's actually an open source bot, I
Ah,
believe too.
okay.
So.
Yeah,
You can take a deep look into it. I'm just seeing if there's anything to do with Blink on its page or not.
maybe even fix some bugs on it.
Doesn't.
Not that there are
Code
any.
some Blink behavior and submit a commit to the GitHub.
That would be cool. Like, I don't know. See if Aeolus author would be up for that. I think most open source projects are open source because they really want people to help out with it. So, but that's good.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people, WickedBot fans, are quite happy with that result. It means WickedBot is now 1-1. ALS is not out yet though, as it has one more chance, as it has yeah, one more game to try and claw its way back.
Yep.
But uh,
It will need to
yeah,
win 3 in a row now to qualify though. So uh, none of our bots from the last tournament done it, so it would be the first one to do that.
But it's
Next up,
definitely doable. I mean,
yeah,
there's going to be bots like Eris -0 going to 3-0, and they'll be already set, right?
yeah,
So it's not like you got to beat the top bots when you go 3-0.
yeah,
You just got to beat some middle of the road bots. So you got to
yeah,
put some good
that
games
would
together.
be uh, that would be like a cool award to hand out or a trophy for AI Arena. Like came back, won 3 games in a tournament.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Comeback king.
yeah,
Uh,
comeback king. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you are tuning in on the Twitch, on the YouTube, click the follow, subscribe if you haven't already, and click like too. Also, if you're watching the VOD, leave a comment as that helps spread the good word of bots.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for that. All right, next up is Kaninana versus GPT. GPT, which has made a big splash in our last tournament, but been a bit disappointing here in this one. So hopefully it can come back. Um, obviously,
Yeah, this will
Kaninana,
be interesting.
yeah,
Carrying on is one of like the top bots, but hasn't been updated in a while, so it's starting to fall off. And
yeah.
GPT, I think, is still being regularly updated. So let's see how much he's closed the gap and possibly surpassed Carrying at this point.
All right, let's have a look. I'll share to you
Yeah,
guys.
it's from what I recall, GPT kind of made its name taking down Canonana, and I think it was Probots or an AI Arena tournament previously. So we'll see if it can do it again.
All right, let's go.
All right, welcome here to Ultra Love, the AI edition. We have spawning in the top right, the red Zerg Kaninana. Big fan of the late game. And in the bottom left, we have the blue Terran GPT, which I always forget what it stands for, but it's
General Purpose Terran.
there you go.
I actually had someone comment on one of my videos the other day that was like, "Wow, ChatGPT sucks at Starcraft." I'm like, "Oh dear."
Well, I mean, I don't even think it's ChatGPT is capable of playing chess. It like loses context of like what the hell's going on in the game.
Yeah,
So
and does illegal
I'm going to
moves.
imagine it could play a video game.
Yeah, I did see the project that someone did trying to have a ML, LM try and play GPT just through like it, or play Starcraft just through an interface,
Hmm.
and that was an interesting project.
I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, like I tried to like get more info on it, and like they just did it and then kind of dropped it. Like it like it did seem to like at least make like a decent number of units and stuff, but yeah.
All right, so we got 2 racks opening out of GPT here with a single gas. So kind of a safe opener. Brings me back to the good old days of Terran where 2 racks expand was actually the norm. Now it's all
Yeah.
CC first or 1 racks expand or 111.
I
You never
don't
really do
think
the 2
GPT
racks openers anymore.
I don't think GPT's planning on going for a 2 racks expand though.
Oh, I'm actually not too aware of GPT. I've know I've seen his games before, but I don't recall too much. So he's probably going to put on a big 1 base all in. I'm guessing from what you said.
Yeah, it does have a macro mode, but it's like a 1 racks expand. If it's not macroing, it's one basing. It's face
Yeah.
off. So that was actually my big question going into this, because that's sort of like how it made its name. It was able to bring down Cannonana with a 1 base build, in Probots or something. But like then the authors went ahead and like added in more of a macro like 2 base timing, and it's like, oh, it might be. It's like, oh, are they going to shoot themselves in the foot by choosing a more complex build? So I'm actually glad to see the author choosing one they've had success with in the past.
Hmm.
As,
Yeah, kind of not seeing the second racks, but he is keeping a good eye on the Marine count. So I'm not sure how much of a worry it is to see 5 Marines at that point, but he did see 5 Marines.
yeah, Cannonana has built a spine crawler already inside its main base. We've got Burrow and Roaches on the way for Cannonana.
And it does
But
look like
GPT.
Roaches. Yeah, it does look like the burrow will be done before any attack could come. So
Oh,
he'll at
did
least
it
have that as
cancel
a
that
weapon.
spine too? I think it might have canceled the spine. No, it just moved it. Okay. So that's and the ramp on this map could be a big factor as far as GPT's success. There's already a spine crawler in a very nice position on top of that ramp.
And a second spine. So yeah, a little worrisome. I mean, but if there was no roaches there, it was just 2 spines, like the stim bile would just plow right through that. Or the, I guess it's combat shield actually.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a buffer, and that's an area Cannonana has shown a bit of weakness. Like there are times where it will need to engage and it just won't.
Hmm.
So we'll see. It is doing the right thing. Like it's getting ready for this. The 2 spines on the high ground will be nice. It's building a good count of roaches. It's already got burrow for the roaches. I believe GPT does have scanning behavior as well, though, just to ensure that it doesn't lose to something like burrowed roaches. And yeah, look at that. The first timing is moving out. So Cannonana's time may be running out to get ready for this.
I keep seeing roaches on the production tab. I don't see where they
They've
are.
all got to be in the main, I guess.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, which yeah is not ideal positioning. There's 3 queens inside the main as well, so the spine crawlers may just die. The attack has been seen. Cannonana is repositioning these units. Queens, roaches coming down the ramp, but it's pulling back, like it's leaving the spines to fend for themselves. The roaches do decide to engage into this. A lot of them are forced underground, and then Cannonana pulls back with its units. This is a bit of a weakness in the red Zerg bot.
Yeah, just the spines aren't part of the calculation, I guess, of like when it's safe to engage and when it's not. He does have a ramp to fight with here, and he looks a little bit less hesitant to fight with the ramp, which is nice. I mean, even you got some flanking roaches that have healed up from burrowing.
Yeah, this is a really nice position on the ramp for Cannonana, as GPT is losing its bio and therefore its ability to hit critical mass. The Zerg, though, did lose a base, so GPT got damage done to maybe play this out a little bit longer. I
Yeah.
am surprised we didn't get a scan there to kill the roaches. Like, it's definitely done that in the past, so maybe it just didn't have energy or something like that. Because, yeah, if it scans, it would have killed a few roaches, and then it might have had the winning numbers over Cannonana.
Oh, and the calculation to figure out where to distance mine isn't the greatest either. His distance mining actually to his third base, so
Oh, yeah, look at that. Just simple distance, as I guess technically those mineral patches are closer.
yeah,
That
by
could
drawing a
cost
straight
him
line.
a
Yeah,
that could cost him
yeah,
a lot of drones if they die in transit.
yeah, absolutely. And plus, it hurts his economy because by losing that natural base, it's not like he's going to have an easy time on the follow up attack either. It's going to be one base on one base, so you want every mineral you can to survive the second attack.
Tom is in chat, the author, saying that the scan behavior is bugged in this version, so he doubts it will ever scan.
Okay.
That's a bit unfortunate, as
Uh,
Cannonana does have the roaches that can just burrow and stay alive. Although if you do unburrow and actually get killed, again, it's still afraid to engage this large bio ball. And so GPT will kill the natural hatchery once again. It's pushing up the ramp. The Zerg's army is really split up this time, and there is enough bio firepower with the 1-1 to actually kill roaches sometimes when they burrow.
mhm.
And oh, the main
And
base may die.
yeah, he'll keep his drones alive, but there's going to be nowhere for them to mine at the end
Yeah,
of
and
this.
no money for a new base. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, in the midst of a normal game, this is perfectly fine to like hold back until you have the army size to deal with the army. But yeah, we've seen this in many bots before, where there's a point where you just have to fight, and
Yeah.
even if you don't win the fight perfectly, you have to do it because if you don't, the game's over, and that's kind of what happened here.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Cannonana, a bot that's got such good late game. Just, yeah, it's a bit of an engagement bug that we see sometimes. So well done by GPT. Scans or no scans, it is able to bring down Cannonana once more.
Yeah, no, really well played by GPT there. And Kaninana, unfortunately, another bot dropping down into that 0-2. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, really nice one base attack. Did not get the victory on the first attack, but did take out the expansion and a whole bunch of army, which put him at even footing. And then the second wave was the
yeah,
one that finished the job.
I think also he
I don't
had
know. Maybe if
the
those probes, if those drones weren't distance mining, an extra 200 minerals maybe he had. Maybe that's an extra two roaches. Maybe that's enough for him to decide to actually fight with those extra roaches. You never know if that made the difference or not.
oh yeah, definitely, and also the spine crawlers for the first wave as well were pretty pivotal by looking at a few of them. So yeah, it's difficult when you got that much bio up against you. It's always difficult to hold, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that in the past with Canny Nana where his calculation on when to attack or not doesn't include his static defense. So he'll just have like four spines and he'll just let them die because he doesn't think he has enough army. Instead of saying, hey, while these spines are alive, I'm going to fight.
Yeah,
And when the spines are down, then I can go back to retreating if I don't think I have enough.
yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I think GPT will have a decent chance going through that middle bracket now, and Kaninana looking to fight his way back. Another bot that you'd expect to kind of like get at least one win in this tournament, I guess.
you would, but yeah, it hasn't been updated for almost a year now, I want to say, and that kind of just highlights that there's so many active new bots out there that if you stay idle, you might fall off a little bit.
Yeah. And he plays like the same adaptive style. He's not like a bot that has many strategies. So if
Yeah,
you figure out anything that beats Kenny Nana, you've stalled him forever, basically on the ladder. So people have, by this point have figured out how to beat Kenny Nana and whatever it happens to be, probably early
yeah,
game.
it's definitely
It'll
true.
work.
Yeah.
Will keep working.
All right. Well,
Whereas a bot like Micro Machine or Xena that even though they're not actively updated these days, they have so many builds, and if a build's bad, they just don't play it.
Yep.
So they kind of keep themselves relevant by doing that.
yeah. All right. Next up, it is Avocados against Small Bly. Avocados, obviously the let me see if I remember this correctly now. Artificial villainous. Is it artificial villainous? No, artificial villain of cheesy and dishonorable offensive strategies. That's the one.
Well done.
God damn it, my memory's good for something. Terrible at everything else. But anyway, let's get it up if we can. One sec here. To you guys.
Small Bly is a bot too that says 2 strategies now. It used to always be a Ling Flood bot, and then went into like a Roach All-In or a Broad Roach All-In, I can't recall. So it will have a build to fall back on.
Okay, so
there it is. Cheesy and dishonorable offensive strategies. Yeah, so the dishonorable one is the Avocado spawning as the Red Terran in the top right-hand position. And in the vertical spawn in the bottom left, we have the Blue Zerg Small Bly. Getting that quick pool down.
I don't think there's any honor to be found in this game whatsoever.
No.
Both of these bots are just cheesy villains. Yeah, and well, I don't think I've ever seen them face off against each other. It's gonna be a little nasty, I think.
Yeah, it is interesting to figure out what's going to happen when it's 2 cheesy bots facing off against each other. Usually goes very one-sided, but it's hard to know which side that's going to be. So it looks like we're getting the Roach variant out of Small Bly, so it's going to be a 1-base Roach All-In.
Yeah, we saw it try this against, I think it was -0 last time, which was a very, was it -0 or Zozo? Zozo maybe. It was a very tough draw, and now it's going to have a chance with burrowed roaches again. And sometimes like they can just absolutely crush because they'll get that infinite efficiency. Just take some damage, burrow, whack-a-mole, and potentially just break the opponent. But Avocados is going to have a lot of stuff too, I think, with this Marine build that it's going for off of 1 base.
Yeah, and he looks like he'll have a ramp with a wall as well, so if Bly's the one to go first, he might be fighting into a really tough position. Marines can outrange Roaches, and if Roaches have to cut through a wall before they can get in range, that's not going to be great.
No, it definitely won't. We've got the first Roaches moving across the map. Incredibly slow, but all things considered, this is still just such an early cheese. Like, there's going to be Roaches across the map by like 2 minutes, 30-ish seconds. And yeah, we'll see. Avocados is moving out with its Marines. It's actually going for the Overlord. Getting that would be a really nice pick-off, but it also may make it incredibly vulnerable as the Marines will now have to fight these Roaches. We do get a chat tag from Avocados saying Roach Rush, Roach Burrowed. So it seems like the author is at least collecting data on this. We'll see if it adapts or not. It's pulling back up its ramp to safety, but then goes back down.
Yeah, and unfortunately no kills because of that burrow.
Yeah, and
really
by the
nice.
time the last Roach is dead, or by the time the last Roach is forced underground, the next one's pretty much ready to pop on out. The Red Terran bot isn't really reacting to this. You don't want to build a command center when you're being Roach rushed. And so Avocados does use a scan, so it will kill 1 Roach, but Small Bly just has the numbers at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Stim is on the way. It should finish before this game ends, but yeah, there's gotta be something to actually kill these Roaches. Now they're up to 6 of them on the battlefield, and more on the way.
Yeah, this is where you'd want that sort of defensive posturing from the Marines, whereas Avocados has been quite aggressive with them, just saying, hey, there's something, let's go fight it, which works in some situations, but not against something like burrowed Roaches. So Small Bly looks like it will improve its
Marine's not
position
using
in
their
this
range
tournament.
advantage either. on that ramp, that was where they could have gotten a lot of free hits.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they range, but they kept stepping into road range and dying.
Yeah, if all those Marines sat up that ramp, it would have been quite different. And there it is, GG. As
GG.
Small Blight takes it.
Yeah, another quick one there. I think we knew that was going to be a quick one, so yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
definitely. But yes, so GPT, sorry, Avocados. I tell you what, that lower bracket, Dominion Dog, Aelus, Caninana, and Avocados does look a bit nasty.
It's gonna be tough work for some, because there's some strong bots that are 0-2 right now.
Yeah,
Beating Dominion Dog and Kainana is no small feat.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bit of a dangerous place to be. Um, that does conclude our lower half of the matches for today. So
yeah,
we'll be having all the bots that went 1-0 last week play against each other now to get closer to advancing.
yeah, and so again, this is fighting to be in that 2-0 bracket, which is where you really want to be, because then you have that chance to secure yourself the best draw for the next round.
So basically, you gotta get to 3 wins before you get to 3 losses, right? That's how
Yes.
we break it down. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah. So first up, we'll have Tier versus Zozo.
that
That
should
will
be
be
a
a good
good
one.
one.
Tier is one of those bots, much like Benbot BC. You don't see big changes, but it always seems to be getting updated incrementally. So,
Yeah,
and then Zozo is just he's a monster. He's a cheesing monster. It's like, what happens if you put all your effort into cheese, or you think of every scenario and fallback plans and plan Bs, and
yeah,
yeah, he's a strong one. And then a decent macro game as well that's developing into that bot.
yeah. And Tyr always like you say he doesn't get big updates, but he always comes with something for a tournament. You know, he's always like put something new in or some change there. So yeah,
Yeah, it's incrementally getting updated. Then on top of that, he does, if he cares about the tournament, he'll make some snipe build and try to try to
definitely. Yeah.
crush one of these top bots that seem unbeatable.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see whether we get Zozo going for that quick and dirty like cheese victory or if it will play a macro game. Personally, I think a macro game between these two would be pretty even. So we'll yeah, see whether Tier can get there or not.
All right.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, spawning down in the bottom left, we have the red Terran. It is Tier. And up in the top left with the probe already heading out on the map, it is the blue Protoss Zozo. And there's that cheeky
Okay.
probe.
Suspicious probe. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just while we do get these openings kicking off, click that like button on the stream if you haven't already. If you want to support tournaments like this, you can go to the AI Arena Patron. And yeah, just follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
GLHF at a Tier.
I feel like that happy face is soon going to turn into a sad face.
There was once a bot that did status reports based using emotes, like scared
Okay.
face and happy face and angry face.
Okay, so Zozo, being the villain that it is, goes for just 3 gates, interestingly enough, this time. But it builds 2 pylons, one to reinforce the gateways to ensure they're not depowered, one to prevent a wall by the Terran. I'm actually wondering if this is like a matchup specific thing the author has. It must be, because it wouldn't make a ton of sense to do against Zerg. But
I think
3
he wants to.
SCVs.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
he wants to build the 4th gate, but he's being held back by these SCVs because it's
Okay.
second pylon before 4th gate, and he just didn't get the 150 minerals.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a little strange that it did build the extra, like the 2 pylons before the 4th gate. Now, we do have Tier actually getting up a bunker. It's producing just its first Marine now, I want to say. Nope, second Marine actually. So there is a bunker, there is means to repair, but there's going to be a lot of Zealots from Zozo. Maybe a few less, though, since it is just 3 gates instead of 4.
Hmm. I think it's gonna be a big difference. The fact that those SCVs denied the 4th gate. He's gonna have probably 2, 3 Marines in that bunker, and maybe even have a wall if those zealots don't get moving soon.
Yeah. Oh, these 3 SCVs, they are still in fight mode. They delay a few of the Zealots, but they do die. That other pylon stays alive, which is significant because it would supply block Zozo if it goes down. SCVs are choking the Zealots up a little bit. 4 Marines in the bunker now with a 5th out is significant DPS, and so Tier's losing SCVs, but will it be able to clean this up before the damage is too high?
Yeah, I mean the cleanup is definitely coming. The question is, will there be a follow-up? Because like, if he loses too many SCVs, maybe the follow-up will be too much for him. Now let's see if he pulls back. He does. I would love to see that get repaired and the wall
Yeah.
completed. Yeah.
Tier's just like, let it burn. It's fine. I'm nowhere near supply cap.
Yeah. Still making 1 or 2 Marines at a time now. So I actually I don't
Yeah.
mind that decision. Maybe every penny spent on Marines is the way to go. But yeah, Tier not having logic to repair a burning down structure is a little bit sad. 5 Zealots are going to
Okay.
come 6 Zealots, but one of them is out front who's going to die immediately before the other
Yeah.
4 even
There's
join.
10 Marines in total. That is a
Yeah.
lot of damage. As the Zealots are getting cut down, SCVs pulled off the line in time to repair. What a nice cleanup by Tier. It's not out of the woods just yet because Zozo does have follow-ups to its cheese. It's floating quite a high amount of minerals, probably because of that lack of a 4th gateway. So when Zozo does decide to expand, it will have the resources to transition pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think those 3 SCVs at the start of the game were the champions. They're the ones who won the game for him. 4th
Yeah,
Gateway would have made all the difference because he had plenty of minerals to build 4 Zealots at a time, not just 3. Like, look at him. Like, he could have 11 more Zealots right now if he was spending all of his minerals.
it's true.
Like, even
Yeah,
at this
like
point in the game, if you give him 11 more Zealots and 15 Zealots come running into the base, I think he can still win it.
the first attack, yeah, would have been potentially earlier, stronger. Now Tier has had lots of time to pull up a nice Marine count. Marines versus slow Zealots with infinite micro do pretty darn well. I think like 1 or 2 Marines died. All the Zealots
Yeah.
get cut down incredibly quickly. Yeah, Tier's in a really nice position as Zozo's transition is quite late.
Yeah.
It could have thrown up that yeah Nexus like a long time ago. There we go. We do get double gases. The Nexus should be building now. Uh, it's Tier's game to lose at this point.
So the one thing Zozo does have going for it is because it never got that 4th gate, given that probably caused it to lose the game. But it does have a lot of minerals, so he was able to instantly throw down that Nexus when he transitioned, and if he gets some production up at home, maybe if you have a Cybercore on the way, please tell me you got a Cybercore before
It did not.
the gateways all go down.
I don't. Yeah, it didn't
He
even
doesn't
have
have
a
a pylon
pylon.
to build a Cybercore yet.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
so like if Tier decides to attack Zozo's dead, that's a big if. Sometimes Tier's a bot that likes to wait
Well,
till it's
he
at
got it.
200
Okay.
supply. Oh, it did. Wow.
Just in time.
That was such a close timing.
Yeah, because like a couple more gateways or whatever he's going for, like if he could spend this 1,000 minerals into say stalkers, then there's a fighting hope to transition into a mid game.
Definitely,
Um,
yeah.
Now it could be trouble because I don't know the dynamics of their macro games, but I suspect Tier might be a little bit stronger than Zozo. So you probably don't want to go into the mid game behind. But yeah, Tier's giving him the time.
Yeah. We'll see, like, whether Zozo just builds up a ton of stalkers or if it goes for Tempest early on. Like some bots just crumple in the face of Tempest. We do have a nice mineral bank for
Okay.
Zozo, so it's already
Okay.
getting up a third base.
And a fourth. There's no
Oh
more
my,
middle
oh
bank.
my
You spent
gosh.
it all on Nexus. This could
I,
pay off, but tier literally has to allow it to pay off.
oh yeah, I love it when bots do this because it's not easy to program in your bot like when is a good time to attack, right?
Yeah.
Like
And honestly, when you're behind, you do need to take a risk, and one of those risks is to be super greedy and just hope that
yeah,
your opponent lets you recover. But this is the next level of greed.
yeah.
I
And
would love to
this
see the
isn't
probes get chronoed as well. If you're going to go straight to 4 base, let's get that economy
yeah.
going.
This isn't even as greedy as tier as Zozo could have been. Like it could have started the third Nexus as soon as it started its natural
Yeah,
if it
that's
wanted
true.
to. So which is just crazy. Um so
He's probably not expecting to be floating 1,200 minerals at the end of the push, though.
no.
He's probably just expecting to be broke because he spent it all on 4 zealots at a time.
No. I am a big fan of bots that do have just sort of like, hey, I've got extra money. Let me build a base sort of
Yeah,
logic
yeah.
in them.
Yeah, like Zozos could definitely put in like when I hit 500 minerals, throw down an Nexus, and then
Yeah.
that'll work with a zealot rush. It doesn't like no matter what you're doing with your zealots, if you ever hit 500 minerals, it doesn't hurt to throw down a Nexus, even if you're still zealot pushing, because you shouldn't ever get that high unless something's going wrong, like a missing gateway.
Oh dear. Zozo has now passed tier in workers. It's producing 4 at a time. This was my concern that if tier gives Zozo the time to build up and just be greedy, tier could just lose this game.
Yeah,
Um
but surpassing him
tier's
in workers means Tier's building a lot of army, and it means that Zozo's not building a lot of army. So it still means the window is wide open for Tier to
It's
win at any
true.
point right now.
Zozo is building its first Tempest now. Tyr does at least have double Thor production on the way with +1 attack for them. Oh, I can't remember if Tyr uses the high impact payload mode or whether it's okay. It has
He's
switched to
already in
Thor.
that mode. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to see. There was a I can't remember which bot it is. Maybe it's Mulebot that produces Thors but doesn't use that mode.
Oh,
Um,
that sucks. Although I will say that literally every Terran I play on ladder puts their Thors in high impact mode versus my Mass Raven, which is just it just knocks 90% off their DPS by doing that.
oh
It's so
yeah,
stupid. But like everyone just thinks of high impact mode as the good mode. They don't think there's like, oh, actually there's scenarios where you don't want that mode.
yeah. Most of the time you do want it, I think, but
Yeah.
they're
Unless you're
definitely.
facing masses of light units like Ravens.
It's true.
Like everyone
Our,
knows that mutas are light, but
our ravens are still light, right?
yeah, Ravens are light. Banshees are light. That's another one people don't know about.
Yeah,
Phoenix are light.
it's just weird because yeah, the Oracle got changed, so that was no longer light. Yeah. Okay, Zozo is still just getting up tons of production. It's getting up a Robo, Stalkers, and Tempest, little bit by little bit. Tyr is now just taking a third base. So it's been playing off 44 workers, which is not ideal. Zozo's behind in army supply still, but it's going to be able to fix that. I love the Immortal being produced. I'm wondering if that's a reaction to the Thors or not.
Yeah,
Um,
could be. Yeah, I would
yeah.
suspect that Zozo's well ahead at this point because of Tyr's not going for the kill. But I honestly, even though Zozo seems to have enough at this point, the fact that his Thor's against Tempest, I still think if Tyr goes now, he would win the game because
Oh, I do
Thor's are
too.
so good versus Tempest. And I
Like the
think there's
mass
enough Marine and
Marines.
tanks to deal with everything else.
Yeah, the Marines aren't bad either. Like Marines beat Tempest if they can get to them. They beat Stalkers if they can get to them.
Yeah.
Uh,
The problem with the Marines is like Tempest can just kite backwards, and just eventually, even if you're not trying to, some terrain will get in the way.
Yeah, it's true. We are going to have Zozo attack, which could really benefit Tyr. Tyr's got tanks. It'll have defense, so it might even repair its Thors. We'll see. The Stalkers are just getting chewed up by the +1 attack on the Thors as well. And so Zozo is going to take a rather poor engagement at the start. The Thors pull back momentarily. Yeah, Tyr is going to be tight pressed to make this attack work. It's got one Immortal coming forward. The Thor's like firing animation takes so long that units can get out of range, I think, before. Like it actually gets off sometimes.
I think once you start the animation, it'll go through, but the opponent does get to step his units back like a full cell before you can move again with the Thor. It's not a good kiting unit, we'll put it that way. So nice retreat out of Zozo because that was probably the worst fight you could ever take. He does keep the Tempest count high. It does get to the point where if you get your Tempest count high enough, they actually become good versus Thors. Which is weird because Thors are like the hardest hard counter to Tempest. But if you ever get in a scenario where like 25 Tempests can fire, but only 3 Thors can shoot back because of everyone's blocking each other, it can go well. Yeah. Okay. Tempest clearing out the Marines. Thor's clearing out everything else. And now Thors are going to fight Tempest, and that's bad news for Zozo. He needs to pull back immediately.
Thors versus Tempest feels so good as a Terran because you're like, outrange this basically.
Yeah. Outrange by 2 as well, which helps a lot.
Oh my gosh, we're getting 4 Thors at a time by tier, which is nuts. Definitely going for style points, as the Terran bot isn't repairing them, but it's got a really nice army supply. The upgrades are just making them so good. And we do have a 4th base on the way for tier.
Yeah, I mean, Thors are like solid versus Stalkers and terrific versus Tempest. So unless the Immortal count gets higher or they adds in something like Zealots, those Thors are going to be perfectly fine to like kill everything. I don't mind this mass Thor play at all.
Yeah, one Thor is
there.
sectioned off. They definitely are not very good units to micro on mass, as they don't have a ton of potential. The arc is good for the Thors.
Siege tanks in that arc as well. Oh
yeah,
Siege
I would love a
so
few
much value there
SCVs to repair, but
yeah, I don't think it matters at this point. It's going so well for tier. I think the last 12 minutes have been if tier attacks, he wins, and I think it's going to happen now.
Okay, tier is going for it.
Yeah. Maybe a base trade could be something that Zozo could do because he does have more bases.
Yeah, Zozo will attack as a priority over defending. Tier seems to defend as a priority over attacking, as the Thors are coming down south to respond to this. It's like it is going to intercept some reinforcements, but they're just so darn slow. This is why some bot authors pair Medivacs with their Thors. Looks like Zozo is quite committed here. Probably will lose all of these units. More Thors coming down. I think all the Tempest are down.
Yeah, I do like that you got the Immortal count up pretty high. I had 4 Immortals for that, so actually some Thors died. But
yeah. No,
I'm
good. Loving
20 Thors is better.
I'm loving the Immortal production by Zozo because I've definitely seen games where it just goes Stalkers and Tempest. So either it's had an update to add in the Immortals, or it, or maybe it's always built Immortals and I'm crazy. But like, I don't recall it building this many Immortals previously. So I wonder if it's composition based, like how it decides what units to build, or what. But, yeah, tier is in a commanding position. However, it's definitely a bot that prioritizes playing it slow and defending. I love the armor being added onto the Thors just to make them as beastly as possible. They've got the damage, now they're going to try and get a bit tougher. The Stalkers just get mauled by the Thors. One Immortal can try, but it will not succeed at fighting on that many Thors. This isn't Wings of Liberty, where one Immortal could kill like a million Thors.
The Thors walking in a line I thought would be bad, but he attacked it from the side, so that line ended up being a gigantic concave. It was unbelievable. He had like 9 Thors shooting at once versus like 3 Stalkers shooting at once.
We even have SCVs coming to repair the Thors, so tier listens. I love that. And yeah, Zozo's in a lot of trouble now. We'll see if it can muster up the production to defend. An Immortal kills a Thor. The probes, I mean, are trying against the Thors. I guess they at least take a firing cycle. And now they're kind of being tied up on the probes, on other units. The Stalkers are really giving it their all. The Immortal does get another Thor down. So tier's bleeding off units, but Zozo's lost a big chunk of its economy.
Yeah. Two more
And
Thors
yeah,
across the map as well to join in.
yeah,
I do find it funny that Tyr only repairs his Thors when he's on offense.
yeah. That is
Like
a
when
little
nothing's
bit
going
strange.
on, no, don't repair them. But when I'm in the middle of a battle, yeah, then I'll bring SCVs to the repair. But very well done. Missed the window to get the easy win, but made the composition that would just win the long game anyways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was nicely done by Tier. The defense was really good. Um, Definitely played it a bit risky with how long it took to build up and the Thor composition. Like, imagine if Zozo had built 2 Robos or 3 Robos and was producing mass Thors instead of Stalker, or mass Immortals instead of Stalkers. But yeah, style points for Tier, definitely, with this
Yeah, yeah.
composition.
Definitely
It's good
very
to see some of
impressed.
the late game of both these bots. We don't get to see them too often.
Yeah, very impressed by Tia there. Like,
Tyr does not know where the last base is.
it's right there.
Now I found it. He never saw it until now.
There we go.
Oh, of course,
Oh,
Zozo
Oh,
now
hears
he
it.
one
doesn't know where the
more.
last base is either.
Zozo
And that
does
won't
not
reveal
like to give
either,
up.
because it's a
Yeah,
Nexus.
there we go. He'll find it eventually.
It's not building the probe, though. Zozo's
Oh,
dead.
it's still got loads
I
of
sent all my
minerals.
units in random directions when I reached this point in the game. I figure if I can't find his last structure, I probably got the army lead, so
Yeah, there we
just
go.
split everything up. There's no reason to keep everything together. There we go.
GG.
Yeah, really good there from Tia, and yeah, so he is into the top 4 bots, or getting there. So that's going to be good.
Yeah, Tier going 2-0 was not something I expected. Like, I've always known it's a good bot. It just hasn't had great results for a while. So really well done to Tier.
Yeah, it's one of
Well, you can
those
never judge
ones.
him on the ladder because he's a tournament bot.
Yeah.
He'll
Oh
always
yeah.
be like number 14 on the ladder, then show up and win a tournament. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So he always brings something special for a tournament, and looks like he has done for this one. So yeah, really well done. So yeah, going into that top 4. I think right, next up we have
-0 versus Ben Bot BC. So the number 1 bot on the ladder versus probably one of the top 5 bots on the ladder, I assume, in Ben Bot.
yep,
And always getting stronger as Ben Bot BC.
always got incremental upgrades. I think you never really see
Yeah.
like massive improvements from BenBot BC, but he always comes with something, and he always has that incremental improvements that really sort of like keeps him up there in the top bots.
And I think it's probably safe to say he's the top Terran bots on the ladder now.
Yeah.
I think he surpassed Micro Machine.
Also top Java bot.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta get back in there. See
Yeah,
if I
you
can
do.
put up a fight. It's always been well, actually, it's been pretty one-sided between me and BenBot PC, where I usually beat him, but that doesn't mean my bot's better. Just in the specific matchup, I usually do well. But on the
Yeah,
ladder, he's usually ahead of me. Actually, I'll be like
might
number
not be the
7 or 8,
case.
and he'll be number 4 and 5. Yeah, and nowadays, yeah, I haven't been updating. He has, so he could be well beyond me at this point.
Definitely. All right, then let's have a look at this one.
Okay.
I did make some progress on my bots over the Christmas break, but it's mostly getting
Oh,
the
nice.
Java framework updated and updating the new maps and stuff. Just getting it functional is supposed to like step 1. Looks like we're in the game already. So yeah, spawning in the bottom right, we have the red Protoss -0. And in the top left, we have the blue Terran BenBot BC. This is going to be a good one, and this is going to be a real test of exactly how good -0 is, because BenBot BC is an absolute monster. So if -0 has his way with BenBot BC, that just shows that there's still a gap between number 1 and everyone else.
Yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle for BenBot BC. I guess a good comparison would be BenBot versus Eris. Like, it's like one of the best matchups to cast on the channel. Like, the games are usually pretty long and exciting. And it's like, okay, Benbot usually has a chance against Eris. Sometimes it can look very difficult against -0. I do find it interesting that Benbot is building its barracks at home. There are a lot of cases which it likes to try and proxy. So instead, it's just going to be going for a regular macro opening, no bunker. There is potential for one from this SCV, but I'm not sure we'll get that.
Oh,
Okay, we do get a proxy bunker.
Is getting set up, and I don't think it'll be spotted actually. -0 is going to place that Nexus, go back in, and that is not vision of the bunker. So the bunker's in range of the Nexus, but the Nexus doesn't know it. This could be really tough for -0 actually if those Marines make it across the map eventually. They might be distracted by a probe right now. Yeah, probe just swinging around and that keeping that Marine running in circles, which means nothing is coming across to deal with that bunker. Zealot is going to end up spotting it, which means there's no Marine that's going to be able to get
So
in there.
-0 canceled. Did it cancel the Nexus twice now?
Oh, it canceled when it saw the bunker. Normally that's
Yeah.
fine, but there's no Marines even close. That Zealot could have taken it down.
Can you press Shift L, Crip? Just yeah, -0 has had 2 Nexus cancels. So I guess it probably canceled like the first time that it saw the Marine or something, I'm not sure. And then when it saw the bunker, it canceled again. That's actually a bit of a development. Like, I know how this plays out, and it usually is like 1 cancel, but a second cancel is fairly unusual. -0 is just going to have to kind of try and one base to eventually break this containment that Benbot is going for. And can we get a look on that bunker at the natural of -0? Okay, yeah, 2 Marines in it right now. The Protoss player is just going to build up units till it can eventually bring this down. Trying to engage into the bunker. The SCV has to run for its life. The Zealot targets it at first, does actually finish it off. So very impressive by -0 to get that bunker burning with only 2 Stalkers and a Zealot. Yeah, that's actually quite nice.
Yeah. I didn't think that would work, actually.
Oh,
I guess there
yeah,
was only
like,
2 Marines in there, and the 2 Marines don't do that much damage, especially against a Zealot. But
yeah, usually, like, I feel like -0 is it'll wait till like 6 Stalkers or something, or like before trying to engage a bunker like that. So that was a really nice cleanup by -0, as it does get the Nexus up. It's delayed, but it's -0. It's got phenomenal micro. It's going to try and poke with these Stalkers most likely. Yeah, it's just that's the thing. Like, -0 is such a daunting opponent that you can get an economic lead behind it and still against it and still feel uneasy for Benbot, because yeah, like, the Protoss is now going to be able to macro unhindered. It's trying to poke into this bunker, unable to break it thanks to the repair. And we've got a tank on the way behind this. -0 is going to try once again, but then backs on out. Just beautiful Stalker micro, very cinematic. The Stalker is engaging and disengaging.
yeah, this is where he puts the squeeze on. Now, often he's putting the squeeze on while getting a crazy economy in the background. This time, not as possible, as he's well behind in economy. It's not like he's taking a third and a fourth while preventing you from taking a third. So Benbot's got plenty of time where he's still going to be well ahead in economy. I'm not sure if -0's seen that siege tank yet. Now he has, so now he'll be a little bit more hesitant and stay a little bit further back.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite things about -0, is just how good it is at recognizing where tanks are. Like, it's sitting slightly further back than it was. As soon as it eats one tank shot, it's like, oh, there's a tank. I better sit further back. So many bots just get ground to dust by siege tanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, the author's implementation is just phenomenal. -0 tries to poke on in as the Hellion eats a shot, but quickly backs on out. Benbot is going for a 3rd command center inside its main base and getting up a fusion core, so looking to head to that late game. But yeah, we get Yamato cannon on the way. We'll see whether this battle cruiser can get across the map and deal some damage.
Another little push in here as all his shields regen
Yeah,
back to full.
very aggressive. -0 does not get the bunker.
Yeah,
Loses
this is
a
one
stalker.
But the command center did sneak out. If he makes that a planetary, like -0 is all about the squeeze, right? And he doesn't know that he needs a squeeze on that right side right now.
Yeah.
That siege tank kind of keeping the stalkers a little bit to the left. Even SCVs might be able to sneak by and get in there. No planetary on the way yet, however, which is a little worrisome. Because if that gets spotted and Benbot gets pushed back to 2 bases again, then that could be the start of the end.
This tank is able to get towards that third base, which is turning into a planetary. One thing that I have seen previously from Benbot is that it will actually adjust, like that tank, if a unit gets too close to it in transit, it will actually siege up. So that's just, that didn't happen there. But again, it shows that the authors have put in a lot of work to go about securing their expansion quite efficiently. The battle cruiser for Benbot actually comes out to fight initially. I'm really surprised this isn't teleporting across the map to harass. And looks like it's fighting one stalker, does kill it off. It's got to be real careful against the rest of these. I guess Benbot is just like, this is too much of a threat, so I need to use the battle cruiser defensively instead of attacking.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. He picked off one stalker and knocked the hull damage on his second stalker. Kind of just poking it from like the absolute furthest point he could, so he didn't ever have to fight like 3 stalkers at a time or anything. Nice little marauder count here as well will be helpful if -0 ever jumps in again.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting because like Benbot does sometimes use the battle cruisers to harass. And that's what usually pulls -0 home. Instead, -0 is just saying, all right, I'll head on home now.
Yeah, I wonder what made him decide to stop doing that. Maybe he just saw one too many units and is like, yeah, this is getting a little risky being out here. But that's kind of the nice thing about stalkers is like, especially with perfect micro, it's really not risky having them way out on the map. Like,
no, it's
not versus Terran at least. So you can run back with their great movement speed and even blink back when necessary, and allows you to have a lot of pressure on without actually really risking losing any units.
Yeah, the shields really are just something that is unique to Protoss and can basically change how you go about programming. Because if a Protoss skirmishes and just pulls a unit back after it loses its shields, that's like a net positive. If a Terran skirmishes, you lose HP. If you don't have Medivacs to heal your units up, you're just down. So it really changes how you can program your bot to posture. Like Benbot likes to make a little bit of bio Yamato on a hallucinated Phoenix.
I was about to say.
But yeah, Benbot makes a little bit of bio. However, it's just like it's never enough, it feels, to take on -0's ground army because the Protoss will just trade so darn well with its perfect micro. And the Toss army really is significant right now. We've got a high stalker count, immortals being added in, sentries, and the prism as -0 secures up its 4th base. Benbot's poking out, but this bio army could be in a lot of trouble. -0 is not one to shy away from a fight. We see just how aggressively it's posturing, attacking in. The prism is juggling the stalkers, pulling the injured ones back and preventing actual damage on them. The battle cruiser has to teleport out. Benbot loses everything without a single kill. That is the power of -0 right there.
Yeah. But Benbot is he's usually okay with suiciding his bio. Like he's like, yeah, I'd kill this off so I make room for more battle cruisers and tanks and the chunky units. Those are just to fill the gap in the meantime. But can he survive this giant incoming attack now that has a rope prism and a couple of mortals? Nothing in the bunkers at the moment either.
Okay, -0 is split right now, attacking the natural and hitting that 3rd base location. 2 Widow Mines are going off. The tank at the natural dies. There is still one bunker that desperately needs to be repaired. The tanks are the main defense for Benbot in a position like this, just to hold the Protoss army back. Battle cruisers come on in and can skirmish. They do have 1/1 upgrades, which is nice for Benbot. However, it really treasures those units, so it's got to pull them back when they take some damage. -0 is just able to pressure. And behind this, it is getting up a 5th base. It's building cannons to secure those locations, and it's actually breaking the 3rd base. The tank gets targeted down. The planetary has all the SCVs around it killed, so now it will be able to be taken down by those +2 attack Protoss units.
It's really incredible how bad planetaries can be in the bot meta, because planetaries is all about that high armor and the repair, and bots
Yeah.
can just like instantly wipe out all the SCVs that are even potential to repair. So without the repair, the planetaries are not very good.
Okay, -0 is now eyeing up this other planetary location. These units are a little bit bruised up. SCVs try and
Yeah.
repair the tank, but it goes down to Widowmine fires. Yamato kills off the Prism. That's really nice for Benbot. So it is able to save this other base. And very notably, the Terran has had other expansions being secured while this goes on. It's got a base towards the 12 o'clock position. It's getting one in what can be a very good or bad position. Because here on Maganatha, there's bases, like it's like the 5th base for each bot is pretty much like an inch away from each other, and that can be really nice for air units. So we'll see if Benbot's battlecruiser fleet can maybe abuse that. Say if -0 tries to expand towards that location across from Benbot. And yeah, -0 just goes home after that big fight. It's building up Tempest, which is definitely concerning for Benbot. 1 isn't concerning. 2 or 3 is where it starts to become a problem, and anything more than that, and it's just disastrous for the Terran.
Yeah, one thing to note in that fight, like he did take out the 3rd to -0, and it went really well, but no battle cruisers were killed in that fight, and he did Yamato a full Warp Prism with had 3
Yeah,
Stalkers inside. So there's still gigantic BC count here, and I know the author -0 almost considers Tempest cheesy. So
he does,
I
yeah.
don't know why he does this, but he prefers not to build Tempest because he almost just like it's too easy or something along those lines. But only now is he starting to add in a couple Tempests, and he's like, you know, it's getting to the point where Stalkers will just get run over by battlecruisers, honestly, when you get the BC count gets too high.
Oh, look at that. Benbot actually
Yeah.
goes for a massive teleport in with its battle cruisers at, what is the 4th of -0. It is a huge commitment, though, as these BCs, their teleport's on cooldown,
Yeah.
and the Tempest can start whittling away on them. I don't know if Benbot would have gone for that move had it seen Tempest prior to this, because these BCs, they're just going to park in the corner and wait for teleport to come off cooldown, but they will not be safe from Tempest. This is a disaster.
Yeah, this is the end. Like, I can't believe all that advantage that Benbot had with the BCs are thrown away in one battle here.
Oh no, that's painful. And it maybe just highlights that it's like a fairly linear programming thought to go for a move like that, and just the fact that it hadn't seen the Tempest before, it's like, yeah, sure, let's jump a base. Because I'm pretty sure Benbot would not have done that had it known there was
Absolutely.
Tempest out. And I've never actually seen that situation so badly before. Now the Terran is on the defense. Benbot is producing Vikings to counter the Tempest, which I like.
Yeah.
And
He's got a
we do have
tremendous
the,
position here too, so that's nice
Yeah,
as
we-
well. Tempests
Okay,
are caught
we-
on their own. Yeah.
yeah,
A
this,
couple of them go
this
down.
air spot and the pathing on Maganatha can really complicate things, as it could actually really be good for Benbot, because if the Vikings can just fight the Tempest, that's best case scenario. It's when the Vikings have to try and deal with the Tempest over Stalkers that things are really bad. Benbot, though, doesn't have all its Vikings here. It engages, almost gets 1 Tempest, and does get
Yeah,
it
get it.
for
Yeah.
4 Vikings.
He is building 6 Vikings at a time, but yeah, there's so many Tempests out right now.
Yeah. We're
I
getting a
was just
Thor
saying how
added in.
-0 doesn't like Tempest, but oh my gosh, he made the transition and he made it hard. That is so many Tempests with 4 building at a time as well. I just
Yeah.
don't think he'll ever get the air control back again.
Vikings for Benbot are moving out. They're trying to avoid the Stalkers on the ground, so their pathing wasn't perfect. The bio of Benbot has to fall back as the planetary gets killed. The Blue Terran isn't dead yet, but it's definitely on track to be, unless there's some really nice move. I don't know, a battlecruiser teleporting across the map and harassing maybe. But yeah, we see a planetary. That's not going to save Benbot, as -0 just waltz right on in, kills off the SCVs. And yeah, the Vikings just can't really get on top of the Tempest.
Yeah, a lot of stalkers nearby. I was hoping the PF would take out a lot of the stalkers, and then the Vikings could maybe do a dive. But he can't even produce those 6 Vikings at a time anymore. He can't afford it. It's down to 2 at a time
No.
now, 1 at a time. Yeah.
That's and in a situation like this, I think your bot probably has one of the best solutions against the Tempest, doesn't it? Say like suicide dive or something like that, and just
Yeah.
group up all the Vikings and go for it.
It's never cost effective though, so you really want to have a lead. And obviously,
Yeah,
versus -0, the odds of you being ahead when you're diving Tempest is very low. -0 is not one to give up the lead easily.
yeah. The alternative is just being whittled to death by Tempest, though. So,
Yeah.
uh, you know,
Because yeah, they outrange you, so you kind of have to commit that, or you need to get a bunch of Thors, and then you have the range advantage.
Yeah, that was a fun game though. I think, yeah, it was interesting to see Benbot BC didn't actually build like the forward barracks into bunker. I think that would have worked out a lot better for him if he'd have done that early game. But yeah, those Tempests just destroying those battle cruisers, that's never good. Oh, I felt so sorry for the
oh, I
pilots of
know.
the battle cruisers, like just sitting in the corner there, going like, "There's nothing I can do."
Yeah, that's why it's usually better to fly the battle cruisers in than teleport them out.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Again, I think that's just a rare situation that I don't think Benbot teleports aggressively when there's Tempest out. It just hadn't seen them.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Like like you said, like he had so many battle cruisers, and that was the one thing Benbot really had the advantage in. But the fact he didn't know that there was Tempest out, it made him do that dive, and then that dive was just a complete suicide and ended the game for him. You know,
Yep,
if say he did like just a straight engagement, and like you got 10 BCs and -0 has like 4 Tempests, and you're battling on the ground as well, like that could turn out completely different. Maybe you take out a base, maybe that Tempest count never gets huge.
yeah,
Maybe you get time to up a proper Viking count to deal with it. Everything could have turned out differently. But yeah, unfortunately, scouting is really important in SC2, and you can make one move to lose the entire game with it.
yep,
Yeah, that was painful. I'd love to see a rematch in which Benbot doesn't do that. I
Yeah,
still think it's an uphill battle, but
yeah,
like like say if the author had seen the Tempest, he might have actually blinked on top of the Tempest, which sometimes Benbot does to try and sort of prevent the snowball Tempest count. But yeah, that was just a
yeah.
disaster.
Pretty much. All right. Uh,
It's awesome we have bots that can fail in such entertaining ways, I guess. Like there's a lot went into that unfortunate situation.
yeah. All right. Well, next up we have Eris against Anibot. Anibot's another one that's been around a while, but not always been at the top of the ladder. But now right back at it after last week's victory. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Anibot can try and bring down Eris.
yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Anybot's got a tough time ahead of him. There's gonna be a
Yeah.
tough one.
yeah,
I'm wondering if Anybot's had any updates of late.
It hasn't. The author came back and like I want to say last May, like did like a little bit of programming, had a dev version on the ladder, and then just disappeared again. So,
Yeah, okay.
uh,
oh, all right.
But yeah, whatever he did was good enough to get his bot qualified, so that's something.
yeah,
Yep, yeah, definitely. All right, let's have a look. So, I
I'm just
okay,
hoping for a good match.
yep, here
And
we
he finds
go.
a chink in the armor and makes this a close one. All right, so spawning down in the bottom right, we have the red Zerg. It is Eris, the number 2 bot on the ladder, as we just saw the number 1 bot of -0. They like to swap that position back and forth a bit. Meanwhile, in the top left, we have the blue Terran Anibot. Batu's no being to be the first to do certain things, like first to do nukes and drops maybe. I can't remember. He was first to do a few ideas in the botting meta.
Yeah, any bot really has a lot of entertaining strategies. That's like it might not be like the best bot at times, but it is like it's just so entertaining to watch. Like, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it can challenge Eris with style. The tag it's gone for is greed, so we'll see just how greedy it's going to be.
And I don't mind that as a choice versus Eris. Eris is very greedy himself, so there's two things you can do against that. You can try to punish him with harassment or an all-in. Eris is pretty all-in proof, although he has shown some chinks to Hellion harass in the past. But the other option is just to be equally as greedy. So if Eris is going to be
Yeah.
greedy, you be greedy, and then you can both have giant armies at the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, it's one of the only ways you can try and challenge Eris. So Antibot is going for, well, it's got its second base up. No gases have been taken yet, which I think is essential when it comes to going for a greedy build. Like gas is just such a big investment. Antibot starts its third command center as a result. So like this is a sub 2 minute third command center for the
Yeah.
Terran, and looks like Antibot might actually get an Overlord. That would be a big setback for Eris. If it can kill that, oh no, it
Uh,
leashes.
yeah, and the second Marine didn't follow either. But yeah, I mean, if you do go gasless, that means you can afford faster orbitals, faster command centers, all like everything for greed requires only minerals, right?
Yeah.
Mules, SCVs, and command centers are all coming from mineral only sources. So yeah, like honestly, if you want to beat Eris, you gotta do something completely insane. So yeah, I say take your fourth command center before you even throw down
Oh
the
yeah,
gas
yeah,
geyser.
I
Why not? You
agree.
know?
Um,
It's completely insane, but if Eris lets you do it, then maybe you got a fighting chance when it comes to the mid game.
yeah, and just talking about that gas thing a little bit more, like Eris functions by being incredibly greedy, by usually getting the minimal amount of gas possible. So I love to see that Antibot is sort of emulating that a little bit. The Zerg is researching speed and actually mining a little bit of gas now, probably for a lair or burrow, something like that. Um, but other than that, I think we'll just get drones, drones, drones from Eris.
Yeah, get Zergling speed. He likes to have those Zerglings poking around, and later on have a little squad of Zerglings that finds harass as it navigates the map.
Yeah, like yeah, the combat simulator for Eris's Ling harassment is just top level. Like
Yeah. And the way it paths around the map is really interesting too. Like it'll find
yeah,
like routes where it'll get like behind you and find and attack your third base without even knowing that they got there. It's really interesting.
yeah,
It's not like a I attack straight sort of idea like a lot of bots have.
yeah. It really is phenomenal. And then it's the author sort of applies the same logic to the workers as well. Like it's workers on their say path towards a base. If there's danger, they'll try and go around it. So like it applies to just all pathing for the spot. And that's honestly something that like I've seen from Benbot and like and other bots. Honestly, like I think a lot of bots would benefit from trying to employ similar safe pathing on their workers. We have got a nice single ling harassment, denying some of Antibot's gas mining, maybe even getting a few SCVs, although Marines are responding.
Yeah, like the main batch of Marines got pulled away by another Zergling, which allowed that one Zergling to go in there and get some freeze hits.
Yeah.
Although, like it's like I said, I don't think he actually got an SCV. The SCVs were smart enough to run away when they got low.
Oh, looks like Antibot's actually getting into a skirmish, I think, with a queen, as it's, yeah, bruised up a queen as its Marines kind of were pulled into that early fight. Antibot is just staying on 3 bases. So, like, no fourth, no fifth. So it says greed. It meant greedy 3CC and then build up into production afterwards, which does mean the Terran will need to get some damage done to Eris to build to a timing attack, something like that. We've
Yep.
got Stim on the way. We've got +1 armor on the way prior to +1 attack, which is interesting. But then also a starport. Medivacs will be essential for this biostyle that Antibot is going to be playing, it seems.
And it looks like Anybot's thinking about taking a fourth. I actually like the idea of doing a 3-base timing attack because that would be the way to do
Yeah,
it. Just be as greedy as possible, to get to a fully saturated 3-base as fast as possible, then everything into units and go. But if he takes a
I
fourth at
really
this
agree.
point, I won't like it.
Eris with a bit of bad pathing is actually moving
Yeah.
its roaches, like move commanding them, which is not something we see from Eris. Quite a few of them get stuck in a pocket. However, there's the power of burrow. Only 2 die as they were unable to burrow. Now, Antibot probably wants to go home. Yeah. Okay, Antibot losing pretty much all its Marines to the Roaches of Eris, which are getting aggressive. A few Marauders and a Marine out on the map. Yeah, this is 30 army supply against 100 now.
Yikes.
Yikes indeed.
Yeah, that late fourth base, unfortunately, have anybody. I would have loved to see that 3-base just turn into like 170 supply bio tank. See what could have
Oh,
happened.
I agree. Like with some tight bio grouping and just go for a big push. But Eris butchering all the SCVs, going to run away with this one. A little underwhelming, but that's how it is sometimes when you're the best.
Yep. And we talk about Antibot's Creed, but Eris was keeping tabs on his opponents, and he's like, there's nothing for me to worry about. And then we just hold down that drone
Yeah.
key. And he was actually, I think, 15 workers ahead of Antibots who hadn't built a gas yet. So, and went straight to the RCC. So,
Yeah, it was
Zerg
quite
can
cool.
upgrade anyone if they really want to.
Yeah, there's no one better at it than Eris, really. And it was quite cool because Eris actually did. I wonder if like the roaches were prompted by Antibot's like marine move out, but like there's times which Eris will go for a roach hydra and then attack. But it's like I don't need any anti-air. I can just go in with pure roach at 66 drones, and it did so. So like it's not just that simple. Like there's lots that goes into the timings that Eris hits. Now it's getting up a hydra den, probably realizing it needs anti-air to kill these floating buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
There we
An
have
early
it.
GG of Antibot saved us some time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Eris is always really impressive. And like I said, the the scouting of Eris is just something that I don't think any other bot has on that level, and that's one of the reasons Eris is so good and always at the top of the ladder because he knows exactly what you're doing at all points. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, but I mean, like, bots bots are dumb in general. It's easy to spot lots of things they did wrong.
Yeah,
Name something Eris did wrong in that match. Like maybe had his overlords like out of position a little bit at certain points, but other than that, like he played perfectly.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
that was really impressive.
yeah, definitely. Oh,
Eris is an absolute monster, and it's exciting that it will be moving on forward to that 2-0,
yeah,
where
no one's
negative
gonna
zero is
want to
also
face.
hanging.
No one's gonna want to face Eris at any stage. Like even negative zero, it's a very kind of like close match between them.
Yeah, I guess those two, they might actually avoid each other with their seeding and their results, right?
It's
In
possible.
the 2-0 round.
It
So,
depends on the draw they get. Um, but
oh, right, it is
Be a bunch
draw
of 3-0
based. So
bots, right?
yes,
For them. Yeah.
yeah, it's draw
there is
dependent.
there is potential that we'll get them facing off, which is exciting. Although I'm pretty confident they'll advance regardless if they face
Yes,
off,
yeah,
which is good. So we've got one more match today, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't already, click that like button on the stream. Follow AI Arena on Twitch, and yeah, just if you want to program your own bot, maybe you're new to the scene, go to AI Arena. There's a wiki with lots of helpful guides. You can pick your language, and there's someone who's sort of usually blazed the trail, I guess. And
Yeah. And hop on the Discord. That's where all the authors are, and that's where you get all your questions answered,
yeah,
including how to get started. You gotta get set up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all very friendly guys. We're all like hanging out and helping each other out. So come and join us. It'll be fun. All right, let's go have a look at our final game.
Sounds a bit like a cult.
Hey, we're not a cult. There are definite things that we are not cultish in, like
We will have you move into our compound, but we're not a cult.
Ah, there we go. Anyway, let's go.
Okay, spawning in the top right, we have the red Protoss Sharpened Edge. Meanwhile, down in the bottom left, there we have the blue Protoss Sharkbot. So both authors of a Protoss bot as well as their respected frameworks of their own language. Sharkbot being a C# bot and Sharpened Edge being a Python bot.
They're way too close in name as well for
Yeah.
their framework.
Yeah, we have the Sharpie framework and the Sharky framework. One was probably a play on words of the other, but then it just turned out to be confusing in the long term.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. Sharkbot and Sharpened Edge are two incredibly entertaining to watch bots. Like they're both very versatile, have lots of styles, and yeah, I think they're probably fairly evenly matched. In this PvP, we're getting a double gate opening, no gas yet from Sharkbot, whereas Sharpened Edge is going for the more human-like double gate, double gas, and then second gate. So a little bit of deviation there from what's considered normal, but it's 2 gates and 2 gases at the end of the day for both bots.
There you go. Yeah, Sharpened Edge is like way back in the day was probably the #1 Protoss bot. Hasn't gotten a lot of updates since then, but he's, he was a strong bot then. He's still going to be a strong bot now, and he's one of those like markers that are set. Like it's like, can you beat Sharpened Edge? If you can't, then you haven't made A level yet in the bot scene.
It's
and
true.
Sharkbot's one of those bots that's like right around the cusp of that Sharpened Edge level. Much more complex in many ways, but
yeah,
he's got some gaps, we'll say, at certain times.
That's probably the perfect way to sum it up. Like, yeah, Sharkbot, like you think of it, it's, or at least for me, what comes to mind is like phenomenal late game sort of thing, but it doesn't necessarily always get there successfully. So we'll just see whether it's going to be able to pull that off. We do have a build divergence. It is Sharpened Edge going for a Robo, 2 Stalkers, Sharkbot spending its gas on a Stargate and 2 Adepts. And we could get an Oracle from Sharkbot, which it has been using to some effect lately, I believe.
Yeah. I don't think we can make fun of bot's Oracle usage anymore, thanks to Sharkbot. It's finally like looking pretty good. They actually get in there and get some worker kills, and then he'll use it for other things like Revelations and stasis traps in the mineral line as well.
I don't think any are perfect yet, but they're definitely way better than they used to be.
Yeah, but they used to be like a meme. Like Oracle, it would kill nothing and then die. That's what every Oracle in every bot game would do. They are difficult to maneuver because they have like such a slow turning radius. You have to code for that.
Okay. Oh, 2 Adepts shading by. They don't actually complete the shade. No door was present for Sharpened Edge, so maybe a bit of a missed opportunity from Sharkbot. The Protoss does have plenty of units in its main base, though, to defend against this. And yeah, where's that Oracle? Okay, it's heading north. So we'll be flying towards Sharpened Edge's main base.
Yeah,
it did use an energy
distracted,
recharge.
And now, well, actually, the depth went in, so the distraction is now moved to where the Oracle wants to be. Unfortunately, for the Oracle,
the Adept screwed the Oracle.
Yeah. Sometimes people put like a missile turret or 2 in the mineral line. And what Sharkbot will do, he'll just throw a stasis trap down just outside of range of the missile turret.
Yeah.
So even though you can't get the worker kills, you can still lock down all the workers.
Okay, so Sharpened Edge staying on 1 base. So is Sharkbot. We'll see if the rule of whoever expands first in a PvP loses is true.
But it's Robo versus Stargate, so it is interesting that way. We're going to have like an Oracle and Phoenix versus another Toss who has like Mass Immortals.
Stargate, I think, is a little bit more volatile than the Robo Gateway style, but who knows? Maybe Sharkbot can pull it off. Like, there's potential for the Phoenix to pick off the Prism, to lift up the Immortals. If the author has programmed that, and it would be incredibly cool to see. And it looks like Sharpened Edge may be getting broken a little bit by this Oracle. All of the stalkers in the main base are trying to respond to it as it keeps going in and out. It's a
Yeah.
great example
Meanwhile,
of how you can
the
play
rest
a
of his
bot.
army is attacking. So
Yeah. So
this is
Sharpened
very
Edge.
on brand with both of them as well. It's like Sharpened Edge is just classic and strong with the Immortal push, and Sharkbot doing all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, this is not great for Sharpened Edge, though, as it's not going to have a lot of success. The Prism picks up the Immortals, and it begins backing out. The Phoenix do not jump on the opportunity.
Yeah, that's surprising. There's no anti-air here. The Phoenix could do whatever they want if they choose. I guess they're respecting the boundaries of the ramp. It's like until something comes up the ramp, it's not a threat.
Yeah, they're probably being grouped with the Stalkers or something. We do get a lift on one of the Immortals. Meanwhile, the Oracle inside the main base is still leashing the Stalkers of Sharpened Edge. This is why some bot authors just do go for that static defense, like you said. Just it saves you having to try and program defensive behavior in nightmare situations, like a single Oracle bouncing in and out. Looks like that Prism may go down to the Phoenix. The two Immortals get lifted and deleted as Sharkbot is able to defend against that sort of weakened attack, but now the Stalkers of Sharpened Edge are poking, and I'm not sure what the numbers are. It looks like it is in favor of Sharpened Edge. Stalkers lifting Phoenix, Phoenix lifting Stalkers, but the Stalkers are numerous enough to at least damage the Phoenix, and there's just not that much actual damage from Sharkbot.
Yeah, those two Immortals actually did incredibly well at the ramp, just because Sharkbot refused to engage if there's at the bottom of the ramp. Those Immortals are just sitting at the bottom, just picking up Stalker after Stalker. So even with the battery, yeah, this power advantage. Now all the Stalkers from the main base has arrived for Sharpened Edge, and this is just too much for Sharkbot. He still has a couple batteries. He still has two Phoenix, but
Sharkbot is building a Void Ray, but it might actually be depowered prior to that. And I don't think that other pylon's reaching. Yep, it's not.
No.
So that is going to be Sharkbot killed. And the rule of which bot expands first dies holds true.
Yeah, it was that that leash range he had at the bottom or the top of his ramp. There was a refusal to go down and deal with those two Immortals. It's cost him so much. Those Immortals killed like 6-7 Stalkers, and then by the time the rest of Sharpened Edge army finally arrived, it was just way too much for Sharkbot to deal with.
It's just very difficult to emulate like Phoenix control that a human does with a bot, I think. So nice try by Sharkbot, but Sharpened Edge will advance will put itself at 2-0 in the group.
Yeah.
And that is it.
No, that's amazing work there for Sharpened Edge. Yeah, like you said, it's one of those bots that it doesn't get a lot of updates, but is always there or thereabouts. And Sharkbot 2, I guess, now. So, yeah, but it's going to be a fun one.
So I guess, we'll probably have the draw after this, right? To see who's playing next week, or
We will. Unfortunately, I've not managed to get everything sorted for the draw straight away, so give me 2 minutes.
Don't tell me the bunnies escaped Crypt.
Ah, they did. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, just big thanks to everyone for tuning in today. Do stay tuned if you want to see who is going to be playing next week, what the matchups will be. It's going to be a bit higher stakes, right? Because it'll be we'll have some eliminations and
Yes, we'll have
some not.
We'll have 2 elimination games, 2 advancement games, and then 4 games from the 1-to-1 bracket. So
They're doing like a Swiss format, which is really nice, which means all the bots with the same record play each other. So the bots that are 2-0 will be playing against each other. The bots that are 0-2 are playing against each other. So as this Swiss format goes on, we're getting more and more even matchups. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna see all the. I'll be interested to see all the 2-0 bots going up against each other.
This this
Battle of the
format is
best.
just awesome. I'm such a big fan of it.
I still can't get over the last game, man. If Sharkbot just moved those Phoenix,
No.
those two immortals are 100% dead, or at least they would have to run back home.
Yeah. Well,
And running
I
home
was
versus
so
Phoenix
worried.
isn't easy either.
I was so worried for Sharpened Edge too. I'm like, oh man, attacking with just the immortals, that's gonna go terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sharkbot unable to punish that.
I'm
Yeah,
a big
just
fan of Sharkbot, so I'm biased in, in his regard. He does so many like cool gimmicky things, we'll say. Well, not even gimmicky, but like I don't know. It's
I
like he's
think
like a wide
gimmicky's
receiver
fair.
who only practices like one-handed catches. So it's amazing to do one-handed catches, but he can't run a route. So, I wish you could just like solidify all like the important base portions of the game, and then you could let all his stuff shine. Like he has like mass prism play where he does like all this like dropping and picking up harassment, and he's got so much cool stuff. He's the only Protoss who uses every single unit in the game. So he can,
Yeah,
in every single ability in the game, he's able to use.
yeah,
But
Sharkbot really is
yeah,
awesome.
he'll just lose a solid play very often, which is
It's a
sad for
bit
me.
unfortunate, yeah,
Yeah,
because I'd love to see Sharkbot have a deep run one of these days.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and there definitely is still hope.
yeah. So
Okay.
he's 2-1-1 now, right? So
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so there's gonna be 8 1-1 bots,
Yeah.
and then 4 2-0 bots, and 4 0-2 bots. Yeah, so 2 eliminations and 2 people qualifying to the playoffs next week.
Yep. That's the way we work. I will just get my bunnies ready. Right. So in here we have 4 bunnies. I'll turn the I keep turning the thing on.
Just zoom in on the bunny's face and see if your webcam picks it up.
Yeah, there we go. One sec. I'll just turn my blur off so you can see how horribly bad and wrecked my room is. So yeah, I will then. So for our top draw, we have Sharpened Edge number 1, -0 number 2, Eris number 3, and Tia number 4. Okay. One sec. All right, let's have a look and see which one we get. And the first one, number 2. So that will be -0. And he will
-0.
face up against. Oh, sorry. Oh,
There's
it's number 4.
4.
It's Tia. So -0
Okay.
up against
Oh, that'll be
Tia.
interesting too.
That'll be
Yeah.
a fun game. So that will leave us with number 3, Sharpened Edge. And
The Eris, right?
obviously we're going to be facing up against Eris. But I'll just let my bunny escape. There he goes, number 1. And that's Eris. So I will just note that down quickly. So that means that we will not get Eris versus -0.
Save that for the finals potentially.
Yes, not yet anyway. So
Well, Tyr has solved Eris's game in the past and has been able to beat
Hmm.
Eris in macro matchups. So
yeah,
I wonder if he's solved anything when it comes to TVP,
it'll be a fun one.
and what if he can do anything against -0.
All right, and all my bunnies are going back into my tin.
We're doing the O2s now.
We're doing the
One
we're doing
ones.
the 1-on-1s first, I think.
One
So
ones. Okay.
Sharkbot will be number 1, Anniebot will be number 2, Benbot VC3, Zozo 4, Smallbly 5, GPT6, Wickedbot 7, and Xena will be number 8. Okay, let's have a look. And the first one out is number 3. Ah, there we go. And that is Benbot BC. And the next one out
Benbot.
is number 8. Oh, up against Xena.
Ooh.
So There can't be any
A good match.
repeated matches in this one, so we are going to have to just confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's a new one. So, and the next one out is number 4, which is Zozo. And Zozo is going to face up against number 1, Sharkbot. Alright, let's have a little look. Next out is a number 6. And number 6, that's GPT, facing up against number 2. So that's Anybots. So Anybot against GPT. That's going to be a fun one, I think.
Very nice.
And
Yeah.
the last one out is going to be...
Oh, Antibot and GPT already played, I think, in the first round.
Yes, you're correct. They did. So GPT will be moved to the next round. So anyway, so number 5 was the next one out. So Small Bly. Anybot will play Small Bly in that case.
Okay.
And the next one out, final one, would be Wickedbot. Wickedbot is going to face up against Anybot. No, sorry.
Antibot or GPT?
Sorry, GPT was the first one out, so GPT gets faced against. So Anybot would be moved to the next one. Apologies for that. That's, yeah, that's how we're working it. So essentially, if you're pulled out against the one you've already played, you get moved to the next draw. So yeah. Anyway, so
Okay, good to know.
So apologies. So confirmation, it will be Benbot BC versus Xena, and it will be Zozo up against Sharkbot, and GPT will face up against Small Bly, and Anybot will face up against Wickedbot. So let me just note those ones down, and we'll confirm afterwards.
And yeah, so for those of you tuning in, this will be doing these matches the same time next week.
Yep.
So yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and click the like button too. It'd be cool if we could get as many likes as viewers. That's always the goal.
That would be so cool. All right, and we have our final draw for those in the 0-2 bracket. We've got Dominion Dog here and Aeolus, Caninana, and Avocados. I'll just show those up. So Dominion Dog will be number 1, Aeolus 2, Caninana 3, and Avocados, or a villain of cheesy and dishonorable offensive strategies. Sorry, I love this part. It's brilliant. It's great.
I'm excited to see more of Avocados.
Yeah. All right, let's see who he faces. And the first one out will be Bunny number 2. And that is Aeolus. And he will face up against Bunny number 1, Dominion Dog. And that means that our next Bunny number 3, Caninana, and number 4, Avocados. And there we go, number 4 out. So yes, Aeolus versus Dominion Dog and Caninana versus Avocados. So our two sort of like veteran bots have managed to avoid each other for once at least. So that's good.
Yeah, that's going to be some good matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this format. Every week the matches get closer and closer in skill, I guess. So every matchup's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. It should be
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but those losers and the 2-0s and the 0-2 matches will be best of 3s, correct?
Yes, correct. And the 1-to-1s will still be best of 1s. Our last best of 1s of the entire tournament, in fact, will be those 4 matches. So yeah, I'm not sure if we'll do all of those matches next week. We might split them over 2 weeks. So because obviously doing best of 3s is going to take longer. So we may do a kind of like split of do one of the top bracket, one of the bottom bracket, and then 2 in the middle next week, and then we'll do the same the week after. But yes, join.
Yeah, that'd be 12 to 16 matches.
Yes. Yeah.
Based on how it goes, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be good. But yes, so thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you very much, Ketrock and Laughing Games, for coming along and joining us and providing some excellent commentary there.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
good.
that was fun.
And same time next week, everyone. Catch you later.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.